Hey there and welcome back. In today's video, we'll be going over one of the cheapest and best builds that will make you millions of silver and combat fame safely in a non-safe zone. If you're a solo player, make sure to watch through the entirety of the video as I will be doing a full build breakdown of what items to take, which abilities to use, and how it works. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more Albion Online content. If you want to catch me live, make sure to follow me on twitch.tv/Donny956. Alright, so before we get into the build breakdown, let's talk about where this is going to be done and why you shouldn't be scared to enter a black zone even if you aren't the best at PvP. So two of the most important things in Albion Online is making silver and combat fame, and this is one of the best ways to do both. You will need to head over and enter a black zone Nightfall Abbey. You could do this by heading over to Breslin and using the portal to enter a lethal mist, or if you haven't unlocked Breslin yet, you can head over to a lethal zone and look for a wisp to take you into the mist. So you might be wondering why I'm leading you into a black zone mist where players in full 8.4 are known to feast on low tier players. Well, it's because this is where the Nightfall Abbeys lie. However, I do have a few tips for you on how to avoid these players. The main thing that you will be doing is always stay mounted. You can run around on the outskirts and away from camps and objectives where these players tend to hang around. You'll want to keep an eye out on your mini map until you see the Nightfall Abbey pop up. Now, once inside the Nightfall Abbey, it will become much safer because depending on the tier Abbey that you join, a limited number of players can enter. Now, once in the Nightfall Abbey, your main objective is to quickly go through the camps and AoE mobs down as fast as you can. Surprisingly, these mobs give a great amount of combat fame, and you have a chance at making a bunch of silver from chests that spawn. Now, if you come across other players, I strongly recommend avoiding them since your build thrives in PvE and survivability and not really in PvP. Without further ado, let's get into the build breakdown. So for your helmet, you're going to go with the 4.1 Mage Cowl. Now I went ahead and went with 4.1 for all my items. It's very inexpensive. I believe the entire set, including your mount and consumables, is about 180,000 silver. But don't worry, you're going to make this quickly in a safe way. So for your helmet, like I mentioned, it's the Mage Cowl. You're going to go with Fire Breath. This is going to go ahead and deal damage in the cone and put a dot for over 3 seconds. This is a great ability to kind of round up your mobs inside the Nightfall Abbey and to be able to AoE them down. For your actual passive, you're going to go with Aggression. This is going to increase all of your damage and healing cast by 3.5%, just allowing you to be able to put a lot more damage out, as well as when you need to heal, you'll be able to heal a lot better. Now let's talk about your main weapon. Now your main weapon is the Blight Staff. So for your first ability, I recommend going with Thorn Growth. So Thorn Growth does damage and crowd control. It's something that you put on the ground and you can use it up to 3 times within a short amount of time. It'll go ahead and do AoE damage and apply what's called a Thorn Charge to your enemy. These Thorn Charges stack up to 5 times, and every time you deal an auto attack damage, it pops one of those Thorn Charges and deals additional damage. It also is great to kind of slow your enemies down and kind of round up your mobs. Or let's say you do get attacked by a player. This is a great way to kind of block them out, isolate them, and kind of kite them since they are going to be slowed by 25%. So make sure that you're always dropping Thorn Growth because this is going to be one of your main sources of damage. Now, when it comes for your second ability, I recommend Bramble Seeds. So Bramble Seeds does damage and crowd control. You throw out seeds in a line. It's a pretty long line, about 16 meters, and it does damage. After a few seconds, it'll pop up and deal even more damage. So this is something that I like to do when I round up the mobs, everything's lined up. I go ahead and throw this out to do a lot of AoE damage. It's also great to use against other enemy players. If you're wanting to kind of knock them up or interrupt them, you can do this. It also works on mobs. If they're casting certain spells that might do a lot of damage or they're trying to heal, you can go ahead and kind of break that up. Now, one of my favorite abilities here is the Elevated Nature Staff. It's your main ability that comes with your Blight Staff. So your Blight Staff, what it does, it allows you to heal in an AoE range. If you have multiple allies, you can actually heal up to 10 allies. But since you'll be doing this by yourself, pretty much what you're doing is just topping yourself off. Also, it increases your movement speed by 15%. So this is something that you can always use if you're trying to get away from somebody, is heal yourself and run, because you can cast this while moving. So keep that in mind, that you want to make sure that you use this as much as you can. When it comes to your passive, you're going to go with Energetic. So Energetic allows each of your auto attacks to restore energy. Since you're going to be spamming abilities and AoEing mobs down, you want to make sure that while you're auto attacking and popping those Thorn Charges, that you're also regenerating energy. This is going to make sure that you have very little downtime as you move through these packs, making sure that it's more efficient for you to make silver and combat fame. Now, for your chest piece, we're going to go with the assassin jacket. So you might be asking, why the assassin jacket and not something like a mercenary jacket that allows you to heal yourself, or a cleric's robe that allows you to do more damage? The reason being is that nature weapons do a lot of damage as is, so you don't necessarily need that extra damage. You have your AoE damage from your mage cowl as well as your blightstaff weapon. So what you're wanting to kind of benefit from the assassin jacket is the ambush. So ambush allows you to go invisible for up to 7 seconds. The longer you're invisible, you get a damage buff. But in reality, this is something that you can use as a defensive. Let's say you pull too many mobs, you kind of need to reset them. You can quickly use this ambush, reset all the mobs and heal up quickly. Or let's say you are being chased down, you're trying to kite away from a very strong player. You can always go ahead and go invisible and try to maneuver your way out of danger there. Now, the passive that you're going to take for the assassin jacket is Balanced Mind. So for Balanced Mind, it's going to increase your damage and your healing cast by 4%. And it's also going to increase your defense. So once again, just making sure that you have extra damage as well as healing, since this build revolves around being able to quickly put burst out and as well as keep yourself healed up. Now for your boots, I definitely recommend the miner boots. This is going to require you to have mining to at least level 4. I do definitely recommend doing that as soon as you can. And the reason being is that your first ability is going to be Flee. So what Flee does, it allows you to increase your movement speed by 120%. So what this does here is for 10 seconds, it's going to allow you to quickly run out. Normally boots give you about 80% to 70% depending on what type of boots you have. So this is going to make you faster than your enemy. Let's say you find yourself in a Nightfall Abbey and there's a tier 8.4 guy that's trying to kill you. You're in tier 4.1. You're not really going to be able to do much to him other than try to get out. So the first thing you're going to do, of course, is you're going to hit your flee button, opening up that gap and looking for an exit, or looking to go to the other side of the map where they might stop chasing you. Usually what will end up happening, once they see that you hit that sprint and you're so much faster than them, they're really not going to chase you. They're just going to go back to do what they need to do, and then you can go ahead and continue to farm. But keep in mind that while you do this, you are going to be silenced for some time, so about 13 seconds. So within the first 10 seconds, you're going to be sprinting. There's going to be a 3-second window where you're going to be slow and you're not going to be able to use any of your other abilities. So just be aware of that. Now, if let's say by any chance they do catch you and they're able to get to you, even though after the 13 seconds, or you get purged, that's where you want to kind of look into using your Assassin's Jacket's ambush to kind of psych out your opponent and get a little bit more distance and look for one of those exits. Keep in mind, like I mentioned, you can use your Blightstaff's elevated nature, which also gives you a 15% movement speed increase while healing. And you can just, like I mentioned, look for that exit and try to get out. Now for the passive, its mining skills pretty much just increases your mining, but you're not gonna have to worry about that while in the Nightfalls because we're not gonna be mining. And for your cape, I recommend going with the normal regular cape. This is a 4.1 cape that I have. Pretty much just gives you the max energy increase as well as the energy regeneration. If you have a little bit extra silver and you want to invest it, you can always look into getting something like a Thetford cape, but in all reality, a regular cape would be just fine. Now this is once again just a cheap way or a cheap build that you can use to make a good amount of silver while in the Nightfall Abbey. Now I hope you enjoyed this video and benefit greatly from this build. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Albion Online and MMORPG content. If you want to catch me live, head over to twitch.tv/Donny956 and make sure to hit the follow button. Like always, stay epic, stay legendary, and I'll see you in the next one.